Hello people of the vlogging nature. Today my vlog comes to you in 3 parts. Yeah, 3 parts sounds right. Part 1. I am still sick, which really sucks for me. This video will have a lot of bad editing in it because I'll be coughing, and so I'll be trying to edit out as much of the coughs as I can. If I don't, I'm sorry. But hey, I tried. I'm actually cold in Australia. For once I'm cold, and that is actually why I'm wearing a jumper. Part 2. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I haven't shaved in a while. I really need to shave. That is not part 2. Part 2 is Leanne has to do a punishment. Me and Leanne were talking over Skype and we came up with a deal. I'll not exchange the details of the deal, but one thing led to another. I was right, she was wrong. Now she has to do a punishment. As it stands, I've not thought of any overly brilliant punishment ideas, so when you're watching this, which you obviously are, suggest a punishment idea in the comments of the video. And then I'll read the comments, and if you're reading it and you see a comment that you like and you think that'd be a good idea for punishment, thumb it up. Big old thumbs up. Part 3, and perhaps the longest part, evil. Can someone or something truly be evil? Flat out, downright, no exceptions. And Leanne in her last video said that she thinks it is possible. Now obviously it shouldn't take long explaining it, and she didn't give her reasons for why she thinks that. And I've just added a secret 4th part that I've not told you about yet, and I'll tell you that in a minute once I'm done talking about true and evil. But yeah, so she didn't really explain it, but basically she said she could. But I disagree. I do not think there is such thing as true evil. I think there's no good, there's no evil, there's the grey. There's no good above the grey and there's no bad below the grey. There's just the grey area. So there's no good, there's no bad, there's just the grey. And we all live in the grey. And I think that's actually really important to remember. The fact that we do all live in there, and because Hitler, right? Yeah, usually in like arguments and stuff you don't bring up Hitler, but I'm using it to support both of our points, kind of. Hitler is usually thought of to be considered a really evil person, just downright boom, evil. But at the time, he and an amount of, I'm not going to say all of the Nazi Party because there were rebels and all of those inside the Nazi Party, but I'm not getting into that. Some of the Nazi Party and Hitler, especially Hitler, thought that what he was doing was the right thing to do and that it was the good thing to do. So, in their mind, in their perspective, it was good. And if he had won World War II, it would have been written in history, and the Brits and the Americans would have come across as the bad people, and the Nazis would have come across as the good people. But because he lost, we wrote the history, we make it seem like we were doing the right thing. History is always written by the winners. Yeah, and so even mass murderers, they're not always evil, because most of the time, mass murderers aren't actually just going, painting, let's kill everyone. They actually have a chemical imbalance in the brain or something along those lines, or they have reasons for killing. So it's not always necessary. I mean, it's not a good thing to do, and it's not like I'm taking the blame off them, but it's not always necessarily only their fault. Sometimes there are extenuating factors. Now that I've covered that,